Howdy and welcome to Rauta's announcement video. I guess the first of its kind, in a way. So, a lot of people have had this conversation with me over the years on streams, especially when I had those gaming streams and had a little bit of a relaxed chat, and some ideas were thrown about. How about Rautafest in a foreseeable future and things like that. Well, we laughed at the idea and would be like, hey, nice to have and all that stuff. And now it seems, after maybe a couple of years, maybe a little less anyway, it seems like things are happening, or at least baby steps are being taken. That is, I'm proud to present the very first Rauta clubs. Not clubs like weapons of choice, but, clubs of metal events. These are happening in collaboration with a local promoter, Metallihelvetti, who is responsible for many different kind of metal gigs over the years, and most importantly for these events that I have been covering throughout the years on Rauta, that is Turku Saatanalle events. Those 2 days fests have been the home of especially black and death metal kind of fests, say kind of like more local Turku versions of what is happening more bigger scale with, Steel Chaos, Steel Fest and all that stuff. So Metallihelvetti, having quite a few of my friends actually, and one of the main heifers, if you will, he and me had a talk like, hey, what if we could do a little bit of collaboration? What if this Rauta going live could actually happen, and not just, like me going on stage, because, hey, nobody would see me, talking on stage nonsense. But how about we make this Rauta Club happen? That is, instead of, starting a festival or whatever, we just, consider doing some kind of event where Rauta is present. That is, me going to the place, maybe even have some merchandise there to be, but more importantly, have part of the support idea with this club. That is, I'm supporting them with the visibility, talking to you guys about these events, and also local people get to see, hey, what is this Rauta all about? These are very much like a prototype of versions, so to say, pilot projects, if you will. But, everybody has to start from somewhere, and these two particular clubs are taking the place of the so-called pilot projects. The first one is already happening in October 21, that is 2021, and the next one is going to take place later on this year, November 2021. Both are happening actually in, at the same block, but two different venues, two different clubs, if you will. But be it as it may, let's start talking about these bands, at least a little bit. A very basic idea. I'm not gonna go through deeply, but you will find information then regarding what their music is and all that stuff, and I will link these events to the description box so you can pretty much get the basic idea from that. So the first one will feature Tyrantti as headliner, a Finnish heavy metal band. Actually quite promising, very energetic bands. Had a little bit of an interview with these guys a couple of years ago, so take a look at the band's interview in case you want to go a little bit deeper than just for the music. These guys know what they're doing. They have a lot of passion. They're very skilled. They have good vocals, good production, all that stuff. Actually been reviewing their releases as well. So they will be headlining, and they will be playing on 22nd of October in Finland. They will be supported by Satan's Falls, another Finnish kind of a promising act who already had their album out, also reviewed on Rauta, and then there will be this first warm-up band called Night Strike. So these three heavy metal acts will act as the opening for a Rauta Club thing in collaboration with Metallihelvetti. So looking forward to these guys. Supposedly everything is gonna be a very energetic and passionate show, so hopefully I will see you there. And there is an announcement in the end of the video. The second one will happen 12th of November, and that features a little bit more on the extreme side. There is no maybe a so clear headliner as you can see from the poster, because none of these bands are really big, but the main act I would say is local band Sepulchral Curse, which has proven to be very strong death metallic act, but not pure death metal. One could say there is certain kind of doominess in their music. They have a really good vocalist, actually a pal of mine who has a really strong voice. He's a big guy, so I'm very much supporting that kind of a growly vocals. Then there is this one of these newer bands, Vitriolic, which was also featured in a quick review with more kind of a trashier output, black trash roughly, give or take. And then a couple of more, newer bands, Axiom Newman and Scum Reaper. It's gonna be interesting evening as well because it's mostly happening on the black death metal territory, but not purely. So 4 different bands with the modest price of €8. Very, very good price for, for bands and all. Now, the announcement which I promised to have you here for these 2 events is that I'm gonna have 2 tickets for both events as a giveaway. Now, I really haven't decided when I'm gonna finish this raffle, but let's say I'll give you a couple of weeks of time to figure out, to participate. So before the event, you will get the tickets in case you happen to be a happy winner. Also, I'm gonna announce here that I will have a couple of tickets, actually 3 tickets for Rauta's Patreon supporters of $10 and $25 members. I know everybody, in fact, are supposed to be from, from the foreign countries, so I don't really expect anybody to come here and, participate in the club. But in case you are 3 first Patreon supporters from these 2 higher tiers of Patreon support, will have their names in the list, so they are free to come here. So 2 tickets gonna be as a giveaway per show, and 3 ones are, selected Patreon supporters in case you just happen to come here. Now, this is the kind of idea which I hope is happening in the future as well. So whether it's this kind of a heavy metal or extreme metal, doesn't really matter. I hope that this kind of concept is going to take place in the future as well. Maybe with bigger events, maybe of various bands. To be honest, I'm really ready for all kind of metal. So it doesn't really have to be, my favorite types of metal, black metal and death metal. And very much because I love thrash metal as well. I hope that I get to see and be part of with Rauta, of these kind of bands. But really, I'm open even for, traditional power metal, heavy metal, doom metal. As long as it's metal and fits to channel's theme, and at least when I can say, yeah, these are worth seeing or checking out, now that's when I'm ready to have my collaborative mind in these Rauta clubs. And who knows, maybe someday it'll be actually more like a festival instead of a one-night event. Who knows how things will pan out. But I hope that I will see some of you faces right there. If you see me at the venue, you can pretty much come and pull me by the sleeve and say hello. And maybe we can talk, drink beers while watching the bands. I don't know. But yeah, these 2 are now the pilot ones. So let's hope things are going well. And one last question before I let you go. Would you like to buy, Rauta merchandise? I'm thinking of shirts and maybe, patches, because I still have the time to prepare something like that for these events if people are interested. I mean, if I do that and I make a patch and there's some leftovers, of course I can ship them, later on to people who are not there locally. But in case, whether you're coming to these events or not, or whether you want to order it later on, let me know in case you're interested in Rauta t-shirts or even long sleeves plus patches. And if there's enough interest for those, I can, get them made for a decent price. Let me know in your comments box whether or not you're interested in coming, whether or not you're interested in the giveaways, and whether or not you are interested in the merchandise. I will then, pick the lucky winners out of those who comment. And in case there are not enough commentators, then too bad. Tickets are being wasted. But your comment and feedback is very much welcome. So I hope to see you on these events, either one or both. Meanwhile, take care and see you soon with more Rauta stuff coming your way.